Hello and welcome to Malaysia, the penultimate round of MotoGP, where the rematch has well and truly just kicked off with a spectacular Q2 session. I'm going to call it maybe one of the greatest Q2 sessions we have ever seen. What a duel between Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia. They were light years ahead of everyone else, smashing the lap record, going into uncharted territory. First Jorge Martin with a 156.5, going a half a second clear of Pecco Bagnaia, and there was a feeling amongst pit lane that that was it. Maybe the decisive blow in the championship mentally for Martin to take pole position with a lap record that good, to be half a second clear of the world champion. How would he respond? I'll tell you how he responded, by going 2/10 quicker himself. A 56.3, utterly ridiculous stuff from Pecco Bagnaia, proving to everyone why he is the world champion, proving to everyone that he is up for the fight. Do not miss the Tissot sprint later on, because it looks like being one of the all-time duels between the top two in the World Championship. I am absolutely buzzing after that. What a session. It was ridiculous. The feeling amongst pit lane, whether it be Gino Borsoi, Davide Tardozzi, all of the team managers, there was a smile upon their face, whether they were included in that fight or not. The world's best showcasing their talent at the very limit. Doesn't get any better than that. That's why we love MotoGP. And the good news is, we've got two races coming up where it looks as though those two are going to go to battle once again. We're down here at the Portimao Enduro box because also we have to give a shout out to Andrea Iannone. And on his second day on the MotoGP machine, after 5 years away, stepping in for Fabio Di Giannantonio this weekend, he nearly got himself into Q2 places. Unbelievable performance from the Maniac. In the end, until of course Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin were able to smash it at the time when he set his best lap in Q1, just 6.5 away from the all-time lap record. Ridiculous from a man that hasn't even touched a MotoGP machine in 5 years. I'm hoping, with my sources on the inside, whether we might be able to get a word with the Maniac, potentially. Let me just check whether we've had a message back. He has to go to physio. We're not going to hear from Andrea Iannone, so we'll move on. And instead, we'll come in the direction of Gresini Racing, where Marc Marquez wasn't the headline act. It was Alex Marquez. We know how good he is around this place. Sprint winner in 2023. Was fighting right at the front in the Grand Prix last year as well. And he was able to produce a magnificent lap to go onto the front row of the grid alongside the top two in the World Championship. He said, we're not fighting for the win today or tomorrow, because these two, pointing to his right, pointing to Bagnaia and Martin, are just a level above. But a very, very good performance nonetheless by Alex Marquez, who will be hoping that he might be able to sneak a sprint podium later on today, which would be a cracking result, because I think all of us, as a result of yesterday's running, felt that the GP24s of Bagnaia, Martin and Enea Bastianini were just going to be that level above everyone else, and we'd see a fight for fourth amongst the rest. But good work from Alex Marquez, proving that there's no point giving up. You might as well go out and keep swinging, and that's exactly what he did. Great lap from him. The Grand Prix might be more of a challenge. Although Enea Bastianini crashed, he was still able to be up on the second row of the grid. Certainly the Grand Prix, we'd expect him to come through, given the superiority of that 24 Ducati. But in the sprint, if he can get a good start, Alex Marquez will be targeting P3, and he'll be very, very pleased if he can end up with a sprint medal around his neck at the conclusion of it. What about KTM? Here we are with the Orange boys. Jack Miller had already managed to confirm his spot automatically into Q2 as a result of his lap yesterday, and Brad Binder joined him there. A late lap from the South African, causing heartbreak for Pedro Acosta. It'll be 13th on the grid for the Spanish rookie, as he failed to really build on that podium last time out in the wet weather of Thailand. But good performance from both Brad and Jack, and a shout out as well down the bottom end of pit lane. We might be able to walk up there and get some thoughts potentially from Johan Zarco, who, again, so many standout performers in that one, but Zarco easily up there, managed to top Q1. A ridiculous lap where he didn't get any help. He didn't get the slipstream effect, courtesy of Aleix Espargaro. He was able to just produce it all of his own making. Ridiculous stuff from the number 5, from the Frenchman, once again proving that he is the leading light for LCR Honda. I'm going to stay Excuse me, sorry. There we go, that caught me by surprise. No, all good. Offering me some water. Excuse me, apologies for that one, bless me as well. That's the problem with the sunshine here, the sneeze can catch you out. Anyway, that's just the excitement coming out of me, hoping to try and grab a word from someone. The problem is at the moment, maybe we could grab a word here from Mauro Grassilli, who is the main man down at Ducati. Here he is taking some photos. Let's see if we can grab a word with Mauro. Mauro, can we have a quick chat if that's okay? And just get your thoughts on that qualifying session. It was pretty good, wasn't it?
I have no words. I mean, this is the dream. This is the one that the thing that we would like to have from the rider. So Pecco was a fantastic job, Jorge as well. So this is the fantastic end of the season that all the fans want to see.
What were the emotions like in the box? I mean, 56.5 from Jorge. We all felt on pit lane. That's never going to get beaten. It's a ridiculous laugh. And then for Pecco to dig that deep, it must have been a roller coaster.
No words. Honestly speaking, waiting for today and tomorrow. After that, we'll see. We'll see the end of the season. It's fantastic here for us.
In terms of Iannone, how is he? A crash, unfortunate for him, but still on the second row.
It's good. The bike is good, so everything is under control.
Thanks, Mauro.
Thank you. Bye.
And there we go, Mauro Grassilli, the Ducati Corsa sporting director, giving us his thoughts. No words, he said, told us on a couple of occasions. I was hoping for a little bit more than just no words, try and describe what we've seen, but appreciate as well. Difficult to really find the right words after a session of that quality. As plenty of people wait down here for the thoughts of Marquez. Try and get a selfie from the Spaniard. What else can we tell you about that qualifying session? Because to be perfectly frank, in pit lane I kind of took my eye off the ball. For those outside of the top two, it was difficult to focus on anything but the guys fighting for the World Championship. Further back, it was an interesting job for Frankie Morbidelli. We can't forget him, of course. On the GP24 has often not delivered exactly what I'm sure Prima Pramac were expecting, given the quality of his package, but fourth, fronting that row two, ahead of the likes of Marc Marquez and Enea Bastianini. I'm sure that Frankie will be pleased with that one. Third row of the grid, Jack Miller, great job, top KTM, has proven all weekend that he's the best in orange so far here in Malaysia, and a pair of Yamahas as well. They're inside the top 10 automatically yesterday. No new engine for either of them. Fabio Quartararo only able to get 3 laps out of the brand new engine yesterday before there was a technical problem with it. So as a result, they withdrew it from the side of Alex Rins's box, but hasn't affected him too much. The Yamahas were able to fire it in onto row 3 of the grid. 8th for Fabio Quartararo, 9th for Alex Rins. Q2 rounded out by Brad Binder, Johan Zarco, and Maverick Vinales. After being the top non-Ducati yesterday, were singing his praises in commentary with what he was able to do to be 4th quickest on the timesheets at the end of practice. Just not able to put a lap together. In the end, only 12th, dead last in that Q2 session. Frustration, I'm sure, for Maverick Vinales and Manu Cachot. I'm sure they were hoping of challenging for those front 2 rows of the grid, the all-important front 2 rows of the grid, but not to be for Top Gun today. Right, we'll do one further little stroll to see if there's anybody popping their head out, anybody able to give us a little bit of a word. It seems that everybody's in the box, getting a little bit of air conditioning, cooling down the heart rate, and catching their breath after that breathtaking session, which, to be fair to them, they do right. Do need a moment to cool down as a result of that one. And we see that the Red Bull Gas Tech Twat guys here. Pedro Costa, as I said, 13th. Augusto Fernandez crashed out, another frustrating one for him, but it does sound like at least he has got his future confirmed. Yamaha test rider role for the former Moto2 world champion, he was telling us on Thursday, is very, very close to being officially signed and officially confirmed as our star of yesterday, Marco Pezzecchi. Didn't have the greatest of sessions, so I'm not going to bother him because he's also got his hands full as well with his spaghetti, his lunch. So yeah, not the session that Marco will have been hoping for, unable to get out of Q2, and as a result he's focusing instead on what's ahead for the sprint to see what he's able to salvage at the end of that one. I'll tell you who we can grab a word with here. It's Pecco Bagnaglia's manager Gianluca Falcione. Maybe we can grab a word with Gianluca here. He's just walking off Let's see if I can catch his eye. No, he's gone. Full concentration for the Bagnaia camp, as you can appreciate at this current moment. Let's have one final stride down on a challenging Inside the Paddock today. Doesn't look as though there's too many people floating around. This is the Martin family here, girlfriend and his girlfriend's mum, girlfriend's brother. They've all made the trip out to Sepang ahead of potential title celebrations, and there is Jorge Martin's mum just over my right shoulder there, chatting away to some of the Spanish journalists. So you can see the Martin clan with, if results go his way in the sprint, although of course he's had to take a backward step in qualifying. If results do go his way, he will have his first opportunity to win the MotoGP World Championship tomorrow, but at the moment he's going to take a mistake from Pecco Bagnaia given his form. What do we think? Are we struggling? I think we're struggling here. There doesn't look to be too many people about whatsoever. That's a problem with these kind of conditions. Fonzie Nieto, we grabbed a word with him yesterday. Let's grab a word with him now after that one to see what kind of moods the camp are in. Fonzie, just quickly before you go in, we grabbed you yesterday. Firstly, what a session that was. What's the mood in the camp not having taken pole position with that lap?
It's incredible. The lap times were unbelievable, no? The level of these two guys are in another planet for me.
Did you expect Pecco to find that lap?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. After the time of Jorge, I think his pole position for sure. The lap time was unbelievable. And then Pecco make again. The level is incredible.
And just how set up nicely is the sprint. We know that Jorge is not bothered.
Sure, it's a fight with Pecco and Jorge. The other ones are with less space. Also, I think today and tomorrow for sure.
Thanks, Fonzie.
Thank you.
There we go. Good quick word with Fonzie Nieto, the Prima Pramac Racing sporting directors. There we go. We've had thoughts from the factory Ducati camp, from the Prima Pramac camp as well. All eyes, all focus, understandably, are on those top two in the World Championship. I said it at the start. Let us know in the comments. Can you think of a better Q2 session than that? Off the top of my head, I certainly can't. I think that maybe goes down as the greatest we've ever seen. What a duel, and it doesn't end there. The sprint later on today, 3 o'clock local time, 2 o'clock local time tomorrow. The Malaysian Grand Prix, the World Championship is on the line. The pair of them are digging deep and finding something special, so you don't want to miss either of those battles coming your way from here in Sepang. Thank you for your company, and we'll see you at the season finale.